What is up? These Hides here back in another video. So in this video, I will be teaching you how to make a art piece. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I'll explain it as I go along. So first step in making it is just making the general template. So this will kind of be like a scenery warp scene. I don't know how to describe it totally. So you just need to make the weapons. So the kind of vibe of the scene is like an army was killed and after battle. I don't know. So, normally I start with like a spear of some sort, and then a sword after that. So this is kind of like the broken weapons of soldiers who might have died. So, then a pommel, just gonna scale that way down. And to connect the pommel, I normally like to just do like a triangle to connect the pommel to the blade and make it the same width as that. Just gonna zoom in a bit. Group that, and then a spear for that. So I'm just gonna copy this and rotate that, and then just put it at the end of the spear. However, I'm gonna just make it more spear-like and send that up. Spear, then another sword, something like that, and then another spear. Okay, so once you have general items collected about, just group it. We'll come back to that later. So next step is just creating the general landscape. So for the background, I normally like making a custom gradient. It's kind of starry, so like black to orange. Normally it's a nice moody. That just scale it up because you're only gonna see not that much of the background. Like that. This looks weird for now, but it'll make more sense later. Okay. So next up is just creating about 4 or 5 rows. 5 rows of different landscapes. So it's just kind of like, you know, wavies and just something like that. And just make it go at the bottom. Oop, this will be way over. But just do this, and it can go like down, under, you know. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you have 4 or 5 different rows. And make sure they're not too large, they don't take up too much space. And just kind of have varied, like hills or something. But make sure after the end of every layer, you send it back. Because that's an important part of it. Make it look good, or look better, I should say. It's back. I'll do one more layer. Okay, next step is just making colors. So one of the colors I like to do, or first just make sure there's no drop shadow. Normally the first color is like a dark blue-ish, then a dark purple, and then a dark red. Just trying to have like dark colors, gonna make that a bit darker. Then a dark cyanish, or whatever that color is, and then another dark purple. Something mess that out. I know it looks weird now, but it'll make more sense later. And I'm just gonna try to adjust some of this stuff. I'm gonna shrink that layer down because I don't think it's large enough of a difference. Just gonna send that up a bit. Okay, so just group that like it is. remove the border thickness and just put that here. Scale that way down. Oh. And then just kind of place them on the different layers and just about, you can like rotate them, or not horizontally, but, or not vertically, but horizontally. And then just continue duplicating and scaling, just putting it throughout the different layers. Later we'll color them better, or we'll color them period, but this step is just kind of putting them around, and you can use any colors you want for this, for any of the steps, but I just use some good colors that are dark and feel thematically appropriate as like a dreary, dark battle scene or site of like a battle, and with all like the broken stuff around everywhere. And you can have some of the stuff going off screen and stuff like that. That's okay. Try to do like 2 or 3 per layer and just try to vary it up a bit. It'll make more sense later. And 2 more layers to go. And put that there. And just kind of spread it about evenly enough. And last layer. Just gonna put that. Don't put it at too far of an incline, but it should be fine. Okay, now that we have this, so all the ones that are on that layer, like these, I will make the same color as the one they're below. Same for these, I'll make it, and same for these, I'll make it the color of that dark purple below, and then the ones on the red, I'll make the same color as the one below. You get the idea. So you just, create a pattern, and if they're going over like this one, just kind of make sure that they're all connected to the bottom anyway. And for this one, just gonna make that the same color as the one below. And for this one, it can be the same color as the one below. So for the back layer, what I normally like to do is like kind of like a mountain range or something. Just use the polygon tool and make just kind of like jagged peaks, plateaus. But around the center mark, just normally like to have like a door or something. And I'll get back to that later. So just continue making it jagged and varied, but realistic. This main part, and you can just send it to the back. I don't really like that. This seems a bit unrealistic. Same with this. Just gonna vary that. Make this like a dark gray or something. Yeah. Okay, so another thing we're gonna do is just head to Google, look for banner or something. Or tattered banner. Something kind of like that, but a bit more tattered, I'm thinking. Something like this. And I can scale that more appropriately. So if you find a piece like a tattered cloth or something, just shrink that down, and we'll put it on a pike. Not a pike, but so you can do holes. I just don't think it's necessary. I'm just gonna quickly trace the general outline of it. And for the top, try to make it like varied. I think it makes it look better. And then put like a what it'd be hanging on. And then just group that and scale that way down. Something I also like doing for this is just putting like a spike at the back, as if it's hanging on that. Okay, now here, you can put these periodically throughout, and keeping the same like philosophy of making them the same color as the layer they're below, and kind of just putting them sporadically. You can put, normally for these I like putting about 1 to layer. Any more than that, it's a bit cramped. Try to keep the center open. That'll be important later. So just spread them out semi-evenly throughout. And this should be the topmost layer of it. Once you have several of them spread out, that's good. So we'll come back to this. I'm just going to duplicate that. And normally what I like to do is just on the side put like the sword and spears or something. And just scale it like way up on the side, because that'd be like just make sure it's like going off screen. And just make it black. And normally I could put a spear too. And then stick that on the other side. I'm just gonna scale that down a bit. And that's good. Actually, make it rotate the other direction. Just try to make it look more symmetrical. Now for this, normally I just like putting like a door design. So I make doors. It's just a circle and a rectangle. But I like the widest point there. Just have to make sure to put it in the during that size. And that will be stretched out later. Just duplicate that and bring it there. Just want to stretch that out. 2 more doors. Select both of them and send it to back. For the door, make it just like a dark grayish or something. And then for the middle, you can put any kind of symbol you really want. For this, I'm gonna put like, you can kind of just make up these symbols. Just something that looks generally ominous looking and evil. So maybe like a T. And then like an overhang. You can make up meanings of these symbols or whatever. Up to you. And just make it black. See if it looks menacing enough, and you can just kind of edit it to make it look menacing. Something like that, yeah. I'm gonna bring that up. Yeah, that's good. And just bring that on. And scale that onto the door. Again, like click on those two and scale to the back. Make it a bit smaller. It's still larger than my likings. There we go. Okay. This is how to make a battle scene. I don't know what you'd call it, but just general tutorial. Try to make this art piece or whatever. Well, the C sides,